Okay, so we are going to be working on solving literal equations and system of equations. So this is working from 4H of the Cambridge Methods textbook. So to start off, we're just going to be looking at literal equations. So with a literal equations, we are dealing with other variables. So when we solve it, we're going to be solving it with m in our equation. So if I'm going to look at this equation and solve it, that I've already made it equal zero, which is saying the y value is zero. So I can use this quadratics formula to solve this. So we're connecting our understanding of rules and being able to apply them. So with the quadratic formula, I need to think about what is my A, what is my B, and what is my C. So my A value is M. My B value is -1 and my C value is n. I'm just plugging those values into my equations and then simplifying. This turns into a positive. This will be 1 take away 4m squared over 2m. So this is the value of what x is. If I look at this next one, x to the power 4, take away bx equals 0. Well, because both my terms have x, I can straight away factor x out. Now I need to solve this. So I actually wrote it 2 times. So if I first look at the x, if this is 0, the whole thing's 0, so that gives me that. Then this next part, I can make this equal 0, so I can make it x to the power 3 equals b, and then cube root, which is what I've just done. So that gives us our two answers. We just need to remember this relationship between b to the power of n is equal to a. So I'm going to show you that and prove it. So if I've got b to the power of n equals a, if I root both sides, this n is going to be cancelled. And on this side, I can write it as a power, a to the power of 1 over n. So we just need to be thinking that if it's even, then we can have this as a positive and negative answer. But if the power is not even, then we can't. So simultaneous equations. We are going to be looking at this in terms of x squared plus y squared equals 145. And that is an equation of a circle, or we've got x plus y equals 17, which is a linear equation. So that means we're finding where they both intersect. So it doesn't matter what I give you in terms of the function or the graph, um, the process is still the same. So first, equate one equation for y. I just made it in terms of the easiest one, which is linear. Now, I could make them both equal y and then make them equal each other, but I just find this way easier when I've got a linear. The second one is substitute into the first equation. So I'm going to grab my first equation. Wherever I see y, I'm going to put 17 to take away x. Now, I'm just going to simplify this. So the first step that I will do is expand this. So this is going to be 17 squared, take away 2 times 17 times x plus x squared. So I'm using the perfect square rule. I've put that in red so you can see what I've done. Now, 17 squared is, 17 squared, and then I would have taken 145, and that will give me 144. So now I'm left with 2x squared plus 144, take away 34x is equal to 0. I want to make it simpler for myself, so I'm going to factor out the 2 because they're all even. And straight away, that gives me 2 in brackets x squared, take away 17x plus 72. Now, the two numbers that times to equal 72 is 8 and 9. 8 times 9 is 72, but if they're both negative, they will add up to negative 17. So that gives me x take away 8 and x take away 9. So that means I've got x is equal to 8 and x is equal to 9. So if I substitute them into the equation, and I'll again pick the linear because it's easier, 17 take away 8 is 9, 8 over 9, so 8 comma 9, and 17 take away 9 equals 8, so 9 comma 8. If I put that on the graph, we can see it's going to be here and here, which is in relation to each other. Okay, next question. So it's the same type of question, it's just different graphs we're looking at. So we are going to find where both of these graphs cross. Y equals 2 over x minus 1 plus 1 and y equals 7 minus x. So we've got a hyperbola and we've got a linear. So again, I'm going to substitute one into each other, but they're both equal to y. So I just can make them equal I can make them equal each other. So that gives me 7 take away x is equal to 2 over x minus 1 plus 1. Now the second part is I just want to simplify it, so I'll get rid of this 1. So I'll take 1, and that means I've got 6. So 6 take away x is equal to 2 over x minus 1. We hate having fractions, so when we can, we get rid of it, which means we will. We'll just times both sides by x minus 1. Now it's starting to look easier. I'm going to expand this, so we would have gone 6 times x is 6x. 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. Negative x times x is negative x squared, and negative x times negative 1 is positive x. We can simplify this by grouping the like terms together. We've got our x's, so it becomes 7x. I want it to equal 0, so I will get rid of this 2 and take away 2. So I get 7x take away 8 take away x squared is equal to 0. I am now going to just reorder everything just so it's in the ax squared plus bx plus c form. Now, when it comes to this, the first thing I'm going to think of is a times c, but I couldn't work out any numbers that would add up to the b value. So I used the quadratic formula for this. So that means I know my a is negative 1, I know my b is 7, and I know my c is negative 8. I substituted all those values into my equation and I simplified it. So that got me negative 7 plus or minus square root 17 over negative 2. Now, the question is not asking for the x value, it's asking for the coordinate, which means I need to identify it. So I'm just going to pick one of my equations, and the linear one's easier, and plug this into the equation and simplify it. You can do this on the CAS by typing it in and then click the simplify button. Up to you. So first I'm going to treat this as a positive, and then I'll define the next one for the negative. So I will change the 7 to 14 out of 2 just to make my denominators the same. I took the negative up the top just to make it easier. Now this is a negative and negative, which is a positive. So then I've got 14 plus negative 7, which becomes take away. So 14 take away 7 is 7. That now gives me my y point. So when x is negative 7 plus square root 17 over negative 2, my y point is 7 plus square root 17 over 2. Apologies, I think it might be cutting off down the bottom. Likewise, I do the same, but instead of a plus, I've got a minus. I'm going to simplify that. Exactly what I did already. So if you feel you need to do it 2 times, go for it. And same thing, but this time it's just going to be 7 take away square root of 17. And over here, it's going to be negative 7 take away square root of 17 over negative 2.